Okay. Again, welcome to everyone. We are excited to present information about our pre-K program. We offer currently in pre-K a highly qualified certified teacher along with an instructional aide. Our classrooms have a cap of 22 students. And age-appropriate technology is available for use in the classroom. Field trips are available when applicable, and access to family and student educational resources are available as well. With the pre-K program options, we offer two types of options. The first is a state-funded pre-K program, and the next available options are tuition-based. Historically, we have provided an employee tuition-based option, but something new that will be provided next year is a community tuition-based program. The tuition-based programs are offered to students who do not meet the eligibility criteria for state-funded pre-K, and there are tuition and fees that apply, and we will be sharing more information upcoming in the presentation about the tuition-based options. Here is a sample full day pre-K schedule. Pre-K is a full day program in Hays CISD. On the screen, you are able to see morning arrival procedures followed by breakfast. And then beginning at 8, there are structured instructional activities throughout the day in all core content areas. We'll talk a little bit more about our curriculum, but we do provide lunchtime, a 30-minute lunchtime that's scheduled in the day for students, recess time, along with a specials time as well. And there are many opportunities for the students to build oral language and social emotional skills, which is a part of the pre-K program. With regards to our curriculum, pre-K follows the state or Texas pre-K guidelines set forth by the state, and we adopt a curriculum program to be able to deliver lessons age appropriately. And that program is called the SAVAS program, 3 Cheers for pre-K. It is aligned to all core content areas and able to be delivered to the pre-K students on a daily basis. We also administer the circle assessment at the beginning and end of the year as required by the state. And we internally administer a letter, names, and sounds assessment, and information from that assessment is available through the student's report card. And the purpose of these assessments is to monitor skill development of our students. There will be school supplies that are needed for pre-K students, and this information is located on our website. It will be updated pending the beginning of our 2022-23 registration process, and that process will begin on April the 28th. And now we're going to share some information about student support services with regard to pre-K. First of all, our Student Health Services Department works with our vaccines or immunization records. Vaccines are required for students who will attend a Texas public school in the upcoming school year. And vaccines need to be updated as of the current age of your child. So for example, if your child is currently 3 and will turn 4 in July, we want shot records to be updated as of the age of 3. And then when they turn 4 in July, you can also update any new vaccines that need to be administered. The Child Nutrition Department offers a school lunch menu that is published monthly. That includes all of the available food options for students for lunch. There is a free and reduced lunch eligibility or application for eligible students, and that application will be available before we begin or later in the summer before the new school year begins. Okay. Our pre-K students receive support going through the line, especially at the beginning of the school year, so that they can know the process or steps to take and be able to receive some support with choosing their options. But our options for the food are up to the student. And this is something as well that we review with our students in class so that they're prepared before they go into the cafeteria. Students are also able to bring their own lunch if they choose not to have a lunch from the school cafeterias. Transportation or bus transportation is available for eligible students under the state-funded program. If students are not eligible under the state-funded program and opt to attend the tuition-based program, parents will need to provide transportation to and from school. Parents will provide information needed for transportation for the state-funded program on the online application. And access to routing information will be available to parents beginning in August of 2022. So you can watch the website for the back to school information that will be updated. There are multilingual services available for pre-K students. In the online application process, one of the forms you will be filling out is the home language survey. In this survey, if a parent indicates that in the home there's any other language spoken other than English, then parents will receive guidance on how to schedule a language testing session for their student. This testing will occur in May, and there'll be more information about that. We do provide bilingual services and English as a second language services for pre-K. And now we're going to get into the steps to apply online in the registration process. The first step is to register, completing the online application that will be available on our Hays CISD website. Again, online registration for all students launches April 28th online. So the registration application will be open and parents can sign up for an account and register your students online. We will have some upcoming registration events. On April 28th, there will be an evening event beginning at 6 p.m. Where all elementary campuses that have a pre-K program will be open to provide support for parents to register online. There will be devices available. You'll receive information about campus tours where you can tour certain areas on the campus. And we will be sharing more information about that before the upcoming event. The next day, the Friday, April 29th, campuses will be open during the day if parents need to go to their home campuses to receive support registering online. Right? And if you're interested in receiving more information, you may drop your name and email address into the chat, and we'll be sharing out flyers, communication information. This will also be posted on our district website and the campus websites as well. So as far as registration, in order for a student to meet registration requirements, they must be 4 years of age on or before September 1st of 2022. Parents must complete the online registration form, as well as uploading all required documents for eligibility and for registration. And we'll look at those documents in just a minute. Upon completion of the online application, parents will receive an email of eligibility. And so please hang on to that email, because that will be something at a later time you will need to learn about other services as well. And if approved, you will be notified about your campus placement at a later date. The second step in the process is documentation. So once you're completing the application online, there will be areas where it asks you to upload these forms of documentation, and the immunizations, the birth certificate, proof of residency, proof of pre-K qualification, which is that email that you receive, and the photo ID will be required to be uploaded. The Social Security number you may be entering into a field, and it will be optional to upload a hard copy of that. But this documentation is very important that you go ahead and start to gather. So when online information is available, then you will have that at the same time you're entering information into the online system. Here are the pre-K eligibility requirements in the state of Texas. And we'll get more specific there, but there is the age requirement that they be on or before September 1st of 2022. And there are other areas that a student may be eligible in. And the next slide, we're going to provide a little more detail in these different areas. So these areas are state mandated qualifiers, meaning ways that a student would be eligible to attend pre-K. We have language qualifiers, which we discussed about the home language survey. Any language other than English that's listed on the survey would require a language test. And again, that's going to be scheduled by campus and for a later date in May. The Star of Texas Award qualifier, we would need a copy of the resolution certificate awarded to the parent of the child. For the income qualifiers, we would need one of the following: a current pay stub, a current tax return if you're self-employed, and a current TANF or SNAP eligibility letter. So we need one of the following documents for the eligibility qualifier. For foster care qualifiers, we would need verification of pre-kindergarten eligibility from DFPS. And for military qualifiers, we would need verification of US Department of Defense photo ID, a statement of service, a copy of the death certificate, a copy of Purple Heart orders, a copy of official letter from a commander, a copy of a letter from US Department of Veteran Affairs, or documentation of if a service member is MIA. And step 3 of the registration process is, once all required documents have been uploaded and you have completed the registration process online, and you've submitted that, you will receive the email upon completion of that application. And again, the email will notify you about your child's eligibility. Either they will be eligible to attend or non-eligible. And if you receive the email that you're not eligible, then the option for tuition base is open to you. And now we're going to share more information about the tuition-based option. For parents, remember, we again historically provided the employee-based tuition-based program, which will continue. But now we are going to provide the tuition-based community program in the 2022-23 school year. And there is information, we are pending approval from Texas Education Agency, but we are cleared to share information about this program. So the tuition-based pre-K program is first come, first served. It is offered to students who do not qualify for the state-funded program, and students must meet age eligibility requirements in order to be considered. And again, online application, all uploaded required documents included the eligibility documents and the registration documents must be complete in order to move forward with the selection process. Here is information about payments or the tuition and fees. There are 10 payments of $610, which equates to $6,100 for the year, including a supply fee. So the initial fee and deposit would be $710. That $710 includes a supply fee of $100, and that supply fee funds instructional materials for the classroom with regards to tuition based. And then the $610 will become the 10th payment in the series of payments throughout the year. The payments are due at the first of each month, beginning in August through May. And again, parents would need to provide transportation to and from school. The tuition-based program is on a selected basis. So here are requirements. If selected, you would need to show proof of eligibility with presenting the email notification received after completing the online application. You would need to have all necessary documentation, that's eligibility and registration documents submitted online. And you will receive notification of campus placement as space becomes available. And this is to be reviewed on an ongoing basis. Okay. And we will begin notifying parents by May 20th. So before I open up for questions, I would like to share my contact information, my email address and phone contact information. You can also drop your name and email address into the chat or a question if you would like to do so. And we will be sharing more publication information about our upcoming registration events, April 28th and 29th. We will be available to answer any questions you have via email after today's meeting, but we will go ahead and open up for questions. If you would either raise your hand or unmute, we'd be able to answer your questions at this time.
Yes, ma'am. As far as vaccination records go, they have a state form to opt out. Do y'all accept that?
For the, I'm sorry, the vaccination letter? Okay.
Yes,
If you have anything related to that, if you could provide that at the time of the support, which would be April 28th in the evening event, there will be staff on duty to be able to answer the questions and receive any other documentation you have, and they will help you get that uploaded as well.
Okay, what time is that again? It's the 28th on what time?
April 28th at 6 p.m. And that would be at your home campus. And if your home campus is Sunfield Elementary, the registration process will happen at Tom Green Elementary.
Mine's Uland Elementary.
So if currently for pre-K, we have certain campuses that do not have pre-K. Uland is one of those. However, you would be able to get support. You will be able to get support at Uland, but the placement would be different for your student because Uland doesn't have pre-K.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. I'm going to stop sharing just a minute so I can see raised hands. Okay. Julie.
Hi. So my home campus offers the pre-K program. So by filling out the application, am I applying for my home campus's program? Or is that just putting me in the mix for any campus program?
Right. We are, once the online registration processes are complete, we're going to consider home campus first.
Okay.
And we're going to be monitoring those available spots. So as space becomes available, we'll be monitoring to make sure that we can look at your home campus first, and then we'll provide any information in the event that your home campus is full. We'll discuss that with you on a case-by-case basis.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
And there are also, I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt. I'm Mary Noble, Deputy Academic Officer. Welcome. We're so glad y'all are here tonight. This is a great turnout. We are so excited to see all of you here. But just to clarify, if you're in the tuition-based program and maybe you work closer to a different campus, if and when you're accepted based on first come, first serve, that is something we will consider if you would rather be at a different campus than your home campus.
And when you say first come, first serve, that's filling out that up, like doing the registration.
Correct. With all your documents, shot records, everything uploaded.
Get everything in there. Yeah.
100% done. Yes.
My daughter will technically be eligible to be registered for kindergarten because she, meets the age cutoff. But so I don't know, like if I would register her for, pre-K, and then if she doesn't get in, then do kinder later, or, do you have any guidance on that?
You go ahead, Mary.
Go ahead, Michelle. You're the early childhood specialist, so you go for it.
Okay. If your child meets eligibility for kindergarten, you go ahead and register your child, because the eligibility is not a factor with kindergarten. As long as they meet age 5 requirement, you're able to register them.
Okay, but if I wanted to do pre-K instead of kinder, then would she be eligible for pre-K, or
you would complete the online registration process to determine eligibility.
Okay, got it.
Okay, let's go to Sarah Rogers.
Yes, hi. So I know with eligibility requirements, I just have a quick question. So is WIC and Medicaid not considered eligible requirements anymore? Because that's how my son Joseph was able to get into the program.
You would, what the information we shared about the state qualifiers is there. If you have other documentation, please bring that on the 28th so that you can receive guidance. It's not guaranteed that it will meet the qualifier, but someone would be able to help you with those documents.
Okay, so until we go to the meeting on the 28th, we're not sure if she's actually eligible for pre-K yet, correct?
Right. You need to complete the online registration process, which opens April 28th.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Yes. Okay. Shay? Shay?
Hi, sorry, I lost signal, so I don't know if you already answered this, but if we are doing the tuition based, is it that we have to wait until after the kids that are income based? Is it first come, first serve for them first, and then the tuition based kids get to apply for this, whatever spots are left after the income based kids go, or is it just whoever's first come, first serve, regardless of if you're paying or if you're not paying?
Okay. With regards to your question, we're going to open up or consider the open space spots for our students who qualify for state funded first, and then we will go to the tuition-based options. However, all students and families will need to complete the registration process, and that's why we're strongly encouraging everyone to complete the online application and upload all the necessary documentation. So that does not hinder you if you're selected for the tuition base.
Okay. Is there like a certain, so there's not a certain amount of spots for like tuition-based kids? It's just whatever's left over from the income-based kids, right? So if I was to complete it first and then like an income-based kid came well after me, would they get the spot before my child would get the spot because they're income-based?
No, we're just monitoring internally. We're going to be monitoring those spots on an as space becomes available. Okay. And that will be ongoing. It's not going to be a one-time thing. It's going to be ongoing. So as we receive reports internally when applications are complete, then we will be monitoring that as a district team together. And then you're going to be notified. We'll begin notifying May 20th, but it will be an ongoing process throughout the course of the school year next year.
Okay, can I ask one more thing?
Sure.
So if so will the kids be placed where their siblings are? Because my other children go to Pfluger. So will if he does get accepted to the tuition-based one, will he go to the same campus, or y'all don't know where they would go?
If Pfluger is your home campus where your other children are registered, and we do have pre-K there, we'll consider spots at your home campus first. And then if there's a different situation on a case-by-case basis, we'll be discussing that with you at that time.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Lynn?
Hi. I just wanted to know if it was possible to register in the spring only. Like if she did not register for the fall, is there a time where registration opens back up for the spring?
So once we begin the school year for 2022-23, you're always open to go to your campus, your home campus, to register your daughter.
At any time?
Yes.
Okay, so basically.
And then the same criteria will apply at that time. Okay. They'll need to meet the eligibility criteria as well as have those registration documents uploaded. And then that will help you to complete the registration process. But the office staff at your home campus can assist you with that process.
And so I don't have to register her by April 28th in order to be looked at in the spring. I just would, at that time when I'm ready for her to go, I go to the campus and enroll her.
Are you talking for tuition based, or are you talking for eligibility?
For tuition.
By then we probably honestly won't have spots available. Okay. Because we're going to do our first look at numbers in May. We'll look again in June, July, and August. So up until school starts, we're going to try to fill spaces. Okay. With tuition based. And so it's always worth a try. You can contact Ms. Gaines and see if there's room still, but we're going to try to fill as many spots as we can prior to school starting.
Okay. Okay. So basically just be if a spot is available in the spring. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
We have Lynn Escamilla.
Hi, yes. I was just wondering if there's a list of schools that, like home schools that do provide pre-K.
Currently, for the 21-22 school year, we have 12 campuses that provide pre-K this year. Next year, we're opening Sunfield Elementary, and we're considering adding pre-K classes at Tom Green. So there will only be one campus next year that will not have pre-K, and so far that's Ulen Elementary. But every other elementary campuses will have pre-K.
Perfect. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Jessica?
Hi. Will our pre-K students, can they go to the after school program? Do you know?
Yes. Again, pre-K is full day, if there's an after-school program you want them to attend, they can attend the after-school program.
Great. And can you tell me what time registration opens on April 28th? Like, do I need to be up at midnight ready to go? How competitive is this going to be?
I do not have an exact time. It would open at the beginning of the day that day, but we can respond to that question. We're going to be developing a frequently asked question document and send out information about that.
It's not quite Black Friday, but it's like right there next to it.
Y'all, this is like a long time coming and such a highly needed service. So thank y'all so much for doing
Well, and just know that at Sunfield, one of the things we're looking at, we are opening extra classes at Sunfield in anticipation of having some overages. So maybe there's not a spot at, I know Negley fills up quick and there's not usually open spaces at Negley, but if you're willing to drive a little bit, we might have room at Sunfield. So just know we're trying to find spaces as close to home campuses and work on numbers and spacing and all that, because we know that there's a big need and we're so excited to be able to do it this year.
Rosie?
Sorry. Hi. If my son is registered right now in Hemphill for the Head Start program, can he continue there, or does he have to register? Do I have to register him for the pre-K program at Tobias, which is our home campus?
You will need to complete the online application process with the necessary documents. And upon completion, once we're sharing placement information, we'll talk with you about that in more detail.
Okay, so I still have to register him, even though he could still go to, I think Hemphill still has where they can do pre-K 4, right?
Head Start's a completely different program than we run. So we don't do qualifications. We house them on our campuses. We share space with them, but that is not a district service. So that's their own program. So that's Hayes.
Separate. Okay.
So if you want them to come to pre-K in Hayes, we welcome them. Or like I said, I don't know much about Head Start other than that we do host them on our campuses.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. I have a phone OnePlus.
Okay. Well, my question was, would for the military, would a veteran be counted as like a state funded, or would it have to be just like active duty?
Under the military qualifications, we can provide information about that. If you would bring the information that you have, then you could receive more guidance and support on the 28th in person. Okay. At the evening event at 6 p.m. at your home campus.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you. Abraham?
Hi, my name's Jessica. Abraham is my husband.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. You wouldn't know. So I have an older child who's on a transfer to another school, still in Hayes, just not our home school. So when I do the registration day, would I go to that school or should I go to my home school?
You can, you have a currently enrolled student.
I have a kindergartner. Are you registering a pre-K student or you just have the kindergartner? Yes, her brother. I'm registering her brother for the pre-K 4.
Okay.
Program.
All the campuses on the 28th will be open and available to assist you with online registration. So if you want to go to the campus where your kindergarten child attends, you're welcome to do that. You're going to receive support there, but that does not give you any information about placement of your pre-K child.
Okay, but whenever the placement part comes, then that would be like a part of my conversation with placement.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. And then also, I'm assuming I would definitely go to the event because my student for pre-K 4 would most likely need a like 504 help. So then I would need to go there, right, with all of that paperwork.
Right. Yes. Okay. And definitely there should be online as well information that will be asked of you about services your child receives. And then there's going to be administrative support that will guide you more about the 504 process.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. We're excited.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, I have Erin Barnett. Erin?
Hello, hi. So I'm an employee and I was wondering about the campus that I live close to is not the campus that I work at. Can I transfer my student to the campus that I work at?
Yes, transfers are available for employees, so we can provide that information alongside you completing the registration process.
All right, thank you.
Yes. Nikki Pringle?
Hi, did you get Sarah Brown? I think they were ahead of me.
Oh, okay. Sarah Brown?
Hi, thanks. I was just wondering, you said you have to provide your own transportation, but I have an older child who takes the bus. So if I also enroll a pre-K student, my younger child won't be able to take the bus with my older child?
Correct. For pre-K tuition-based, parents will need to provide the transportation. If you have a child registered in any grade level, kindergarten and up, they would be eligible for bus transportation based on the need for at the registration time. But because this is tuition based and it's funded separately from the state funds, parents will need to provide transportation.
Okay, thanks.
Yes. Okay, Nikki Pringle.
Hi, I don't like to jump in line. I have two questions. So if I just clarify, it sounds like for the state-funded program, you're not limited in spots, but for the tuition, you do have limited spots. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. The second question is, so do you have a 3-year-old program, or this is just strictly for 4-year-olds?
The tuition base is strictly for a 4-year-old, which is the age requirement for pre-K. Okay. There are some services separate from the tuition-based options for 3-year-olds, but we would need to assist you with more information to determine if those options are available. And that would be early childhood special education services if needed. For instance, if you had questions about speech services or other services that may require your students to begin school early before age 4. So there are options there, and we have our early learning centers as well. So again, the tuition base is for age 4 pre-K students who are not eligible for the state-funded program.
Okay, so for 3-year-olds, for children that need early interventions per se.
Yes.
Is that correct? Okay.
Yes. You're welcome to email me about your specific information and give me your contact, and then we can get more details to you with regard to your situation for 3-year-olds.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Ashley?
Will there be somewhere we can see the income guidelines if we want to know, kind of gauge in advance if we have an idea if our child will qualify for the state funding?
Yes, you go to our district website. Across the top, there is an A to Z tab. And if you go to P for pre-K program and scroll down, income guidelines are available there.
Thank you.
And if you have trouble navigating or finding that information, you're welcome to email or call, and I can assist you with that.
Thank you.
Okay. Is it Talia or Taylor?
Hi, yes, it's Taylor.
Okay.
I just wanted to clarify, it's the 28th. I thought I had read somewhere about being the 21st. I'm sorry, the 1st, April 1st for registration. So
registration again opens April 28th. It will launch then on that evening. We'll have the in-person event. The online registration links will be open for you to apply for an account and then enter the information, on the online application. Then the evening of April 28th at 6 p.m., campuses will be open, your home campuses, for you to go receive assistance. They'll have devices available so they can assist you with online registration, and you'll be able to meet the administrators and support staff there. You'll be able to tour a pre-K classroom or kinder classroom at that time, and some common areas at the campus.
Okay. And so on the 28th, though, it'll open in the morning, or it won't open until after the evening and everybody has gone to the support meeting?
The online application will open earlier. I just don't have the specific time that it will open, but we can get that information for you.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So some people, if you wait until 6 p.m., some people will already have registered earlier in the day. So spots might be limited already.
We really can't give that detail right now. We're just encouraging everyone to watch that morning, to register online and make sure you upload all of your documentation so that you're submitted. And then internally, we're able to monitor that and look at that information. Okay.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much. And thank you for doing this and giving us this information. We appreciate it.
You're welcome. Yolanda?
I have a question.
Yes. Go ahead, Yolanda.
Oh, that was somebody else. I'll let them talk. Oh, well, I thought somebody said I have a question. I was going to let them go. Couple things. One, would it be considered for tuition-based if they already have 2 siblings at the elementary school? Is that going to be a factor or?
Okay, so if your children that are already at the school are in grades kindergarten and up, this will not impact a pre-K student.
Okay, so that has nothing to do with the qualifications. Okay, nope, that makes sense.
No,
we will try to keep them together if at all possible, but that will depend on space.
Right.
No, I think my question was, would I be more considered as a tuition-based student, right, my child, if they already have 2 siblings in the school, right? Let's say you've got 10 tuition-based people and you only have 5 spots. Oh, well, Miss Burrell's got 2 children already at the school. Let's choose her because she's already got 2 kids there.
Right. That's one of the great things about our system is it timestamps when everything's complete. And so that way it's fair. It's because everything is stamped and we have proof of when people registered. So
makes sense.
Yeah.
Full completion. If your son or daughter is not going to turn 4 until the end of May and immunization records will not happen, is that also impact the registration? Because you could have multiple children that have birthdays prior to May, immunization records, registration, boom, done, and we're out the door because my daughter isn't until the end of May.
Right. And so what we're doing is, LaShawn, jump in if you want. I'm sorry, I'm talking all the time here.
That's okay.
So what we're doing is because you have to be 4 by September 1. So say your child is a September 1 4-year-old, we're not going to deny them as long as their 3-year-old shots are up to date. So they'll need that shot on September 1 or shortly thereafter.
Oh, I see.
for their
So as
birthday.
long as the
But-
school starts. Okay.
Right. But the records have to be up to date. If they're missing whatever they need as a 3-year-old, that's the nurses. I can't tell you what that is, but as long as their shot records are up to date, the day you upload them based on their birthday, you're considered in line. It doesn't matter if they don't have their 4-year-old shot yet, unless they're already 4.
Perfect. And statistics, I know this is a new thing for the district offering tuition based, but how many spots would you anticipate there potentially being for tuition based?
So that's such a hard question because you never know year to year how many kids were going to qualify, period. Because it's all, every year is a new year. We know it pretty much exactly how many second graders were getting based on the number of first graders on down the line. But with pre-K, we never know. We are trying to, if it gets to the point that where it's looking like we have such a need at a certain campus, we can look at adding a teacher if we have enough interest to help pay that teacher, because you have to think their salary and then the salary of the paraprofessional, things like that. So we're going to be monitoring the numbers and looking, and if there's such an interest that we need to add, we can go to HR and talk to them about adding that position.
I'm just thinking of our home-based elementary, and I'm like, well, I know that teacher usually is pretty booked, or at least it seems like they're booked. So am I just wasting my time, or
well, and just
do
know
I
that we'll try to get you as close to it as possible. It may not be your home campus, but it may be the sister campus next to it.
Yeah. And if it's not home campus, then I can just deny it and say I won't do it.
Correct.
Right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
anytime.
cool.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you for taking the time tonight.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Crystal Luna.
Hey there, quick question. It may be silly, but it's just a genuine question that's I keep going back and forth between keeping him in daycare with the district or going ahead and registering my son for pre-K. But my son is potty trained. Is it a requirement for him to have to be completely independent in the bathroom, or are teachers able to still assist them? I don't want to send him to pre-K if he's not fully independent and, give that extra chore, if you want to call it, to a teacher whenever they don't really need to be doing it.
Right. It is not a requirement that they be potty trained. However, we work toward independence, which is part of the pre-K experience. So we will be developing a plan along with parents to begin that process at home and at school.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Is it Elena?
Sorry, my mute button wasn't unmuting. Yes, it is Elena. I have a question. My mom teaches in the district. She's a first grade teacher at Elm Grove. And so technically our home school for my daughter would be Carpenter Hill. But since my mom teaches at Elm Grove, I would like her to be able to ride to and from school with grandma. Is that a possibility? Like I submit a request for that?
Yes, that is possible.
Okay, perfect. I will do that. That was my question.
Okay, we have Cindy Sanchez.
Yes, question. I work for the district. My child's currently in the daycare with the Early Learning Childhood Center. What is the difference between pre-K versus if he stays with the district daycare?
Okay. With pre-K, again, online registration would be completed to determine if they're eligible for the state-funded program. If they're not eligible, the tuition-based program applies. So again, as an employee, that option is open to you for tuition-based. But if they qualify for state-funded, it's free versus having to pay the tuition fees.
And I think you may be asking, are you asking curriculum wise? Because it's a completely different curriculum for our pre-Kers than in our ELCs, our daycare for our staff.
Okay, so there are different curriculums.
Yes.
Would you say for the district it's more advanced?
Yes, it is, because we use this, which I know you can talk more to that, but it is a more rich, robust, I guess would be the better word, curriculum with the district pre-K, because we have the state guidelines guiding us what we need to be teaching in pre-K.
Yes.
And so with pre-K, would we follow the Hayes ISD calendar?
Yes.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Anna?
Hello. So my son, we're interested in the tuition-based program, but my son doesn't turn 4 until February. So does that mean that I would have to wait till next April to get him registered for the following school year?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Are there other parents who have questions who do not have their hands raised? You can unmute to ask your question.
If you already have an older student registered, do you have to create another account, or you would go in that same account and register the younger student?
You will need to create an account for the younger student.
LaShawn, I think that I think she can, in Teams, I think she can just add another student.
Oh, okay. Okay. So yes, just add another student. The online application is the same. It's LinkedIn Teams. So if you have Parent Portal, you can add another student and have access to the same information.
And it will be tracked the same way as if I did a new application or something like that.
Yes,
well,
yes.
And that way you have it all in one spot and you don't have to remember 2 passwords.
Awesome. Thank you.
Anyone else have a question?
Yes, I'm sorry. Go ahead, ma'am.
You go ahead. You spoke first.
No, you can go ahead. It's fine. I can wait.
So is there, so my 3-year-old, almost 4-year-old, is already in the early Head Start program for Hemphill. Is that a different application as far as signing up for pre-K, or is it all one application?
Head Start and pre-K for Hayes are 2 totally separate programs.
Okay, so then sign her up through the pre-K program through Hayes ISD. Got it. Okay.
Yes.
I just had a quick question. My wife's an employee of the district. And I wanted to know, because we live outside district lines, is the pre-K program still open for our children, being that she teaches at one of the high schools?
Yes, for employees, yes.
Okay, and would she teaches at Johnson, is there a program at Carpenter Hill that, and she would be able to request that be our children's campus as she teaches at Johnson?
Yes, that request can happen. So on the 28th, when online registration opens, she would complete the documents. Upon completion, when we begin to discuss placement, she can let us know that information at that time.
Okay, and then is it the same as with the daycare at Carpenter Hill, where it can be a payroll deduction, or would it need to be a separate payment we'd have to make each month?
No, it's a payroll deduction, and information upon completion of the online registration process can be provided about that.
Okay, so it's April 28th, just first thing in the morning, basically?
Yes, and we'll definitely let you know what time it opens.
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Okay, any other questions?
Oh, I wanted to ask, so the thing that's happening at 6 o'clock, is that like, you have to go to that, or is that just more information that's going to be given?
So it's not a required, it's something that we're going to have available so that if parents need help completing the online registration, you would get help. If you have questions about immunizations, we'll have a school nurse available to help answer those questions. If we need language testing or questions about any language other than English, we'll have support staff to be able to answer questions with that. So if you're okay completing everything online, uploading your documents in the online system online, you're not required to attend.
Okay, and do you So the registration for the pre-K kids, is that also the same thing as like the other kids? So like would I register all my kids at the same time?
Yes, the online registration application will launch or open for all students on April 28th.
Okay, and then so there's nothing special I would need to do for the pre-K, just make sure that his shots are or his shot record is updated.
Yeah, for pre-K, make sure the shot record is updated and you have all the other registration documents, the photo ID, etc., as well as any eligibility documentation. If you're qualifying for eligibility for free or state-funded pre-K.
Okay, and for the tuition, like how much is it going to be, or is there like a list, or that's not out yet?
I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again. On the presentation, we do have the cost, and here is a list of the costs so that you can see that.
I want to just one more thing. The night of the 28th, if you have not been on the campus that you're interested in enrolling your child at, sorry, I can't even talk, it's getting late. It's also a great opportunity to go to the campus and meet some people and see the campus. So you can kind of see where your babies are going.
Yes.
I had a question about the foster requirement. So is it just active fosters, or if they've been in the foster system at any point?
If they have received information or currently in a situation where they're receiving foster care services, there will be administrators available to help route that information, or you're able to contact us and we can route you to one of our district staff who works with that particular program to hear your situation and give you more guidance regarding that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Any other questions?
I just have one last question. Is the requirements for the vaccination, is the school nurse the one who decides like it's required as the same as the other kids that are in school? Or do y'all have separate requirements for the vaccinations?
No, there are not any separate requirements. Everything is listed on the documents that we shared earlier, and that's accessible on our website under Student Health Services.
Okay, because I have older kids that have the same thing. So I was just curious if they required the same, or if y'all required something different. But I understand. Thank you, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome.
Ms. Gaines, can you show that sample daily schedule slide one more time?
Absolutely. Just give me a minute to scroll to that slide, and yes, we can show that. Okay, there it is. Okay. You're welcome. Any other questions?
Yes, ma'am. I actually had one more quick question. I apologize for the screaming toddler in the background, by the way.
No problem.
With the school day at the high school is not ending until 4:10.
Yes.
Is there the after school program, since my wife's not able to get out of Johnson? I know it takes her like 15 minutes just to get over there. When she gets out, so it's close to like 4:30 by the time she gets there, if she gets out early enough, where there's an after school program for the kids there for employees of the district.
Yes, so after school programs are available for pre-K students. At the end of the school day, you would just go ahead and take care of whatever's necessary to enroll in that after school program. But pre-K students can attend those programs.
Okay, thank you.
They are through the YMCA. If you want to reach out to them, we do not have the YMCA at every campus, so that might be something you want to look at. We are working at getting the YMCA into Sunfield. They have a minimum number of kids. And so like we had to close the one at Hemphill this year. We had to close the one at Camino this year with the YMCA. So you might want to contact the YMCA if you're interested and let them know so they can start working on the numbers for next year and hopefully be able to have a program if they don't already at the campus you're interested in.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And actually, could you go to the slide with your contact info one more time so I could just screenshot it again, please, or screenshot it, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Hi there.
I have
Is
a
the
question.
YMCA
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
sorry, is the YMCA the only after school care option for the district, or is there another after school care option?
So for on district property, we have an arrangement with the YMCA. So that is the only one that takes place on our campuses. But I do know that we have other daycares that pick up at campuses. Rocking Horse, Tippy, I can't, anyway, I don't know who they are, but I do know that they are one because I'll see the buses in line to pick up kids or the vans, depending on the case. But the YMCA is the only one that we house on campus.
Okay, I have a question. Do we know the pricing on the YMCA after school care for tuition based?
I do not. It would be the same for tuition or if your child qualifies. I believe the YMCA has a sliding scale, but I do not have those numbers. You would have to contact them for those.
Regular price is $235 a month for extended care YMCA, but that's regular price.
Thank you for sharing that information.
Yeah, I'm currently paying $280, so I guess it could change.
Thank you. Any other
You might
questions?
get a you might get a discount if you have multiple children.
Any other questions?
Ms. Pringle here. Sorry, I have another question. I was looking at that schedule. So lunch is at 10:30. Is there a snack built in? Because 10:30 to 3 is a long time.
Yes.
They have brunch.
Yes. So yes, there is a snack time built in, and that information will be shared at back to school in August when school begins. The teachers will provide more information. And again, this is a sample schedule. So depending on the campus master schedule, that lunchtime may vary at the different campuses. However, there is a snack time built in.
Oh, goody.
Yes.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Okay, any other questions before we conclude our presentation today? Okay, well, we thank you again for attending. We are just super excited about receiving your children for the upcoming school year. As a follow-up to our meeting, I will be sharing via email more information about our upcoming registration events and also frequently asked questions from our presentations today. So again, thank you so much for attending. And if there's someone who was unable to attend the meeting, we will have information available. So just share that they are able to contact us and we are able to support them in any way that we can. Everyone have a great evening. And again, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.